Hi there. Thank you everyone for joining us today on what is the first ever Shaping Your Success CPD channel live stream. We're live on YouTube, Twitter and LinkedIn. I'm joined by Rachel Steer, CPD Operations Officer from the Law Society of Scotland. Rachel, how are you?
I'm good, thank you, Ali. Excited to be part of my live stream debut. So thanks very much for setting this all up for us.
Oh, thank you. It's an absolute pleasure. I'm just checking. I said Operations Officer, but it's a different title you've got now, isn't it? So
Yes,
please tell the audience what that is.
So it's a projects officer now, as from last Monday.
Brilliant. Well, congratulations on that. So for those who don't know me, I'm Ali Thompson from Hay Legal. We've embarked on a joint venture with the Law Society, which is all very interesting, about Shaping Your Success CPD channel. Just a little bit of housekeeping first. We're going to today tell you what's involved in the new channel, so who our guests have been and are going to be, how you can access free CPD, which is always of interest to all lawyers, no doubt, how you can register and get involved. We're aiming to be live today for about 15 to 20 minutes because we know everyone's busy. It's lunchtime. We hope you're all safe in the current inclement weather. But so we're going to run through quite a lot today. We've got some video clips to show you and lots of different things. You can use the chat function if you're watching us on YouTube, and we'd be delighted to hear who you're joining us from today and how your day is going. So I thought the quickest way, Rachel, for us to be able to tell people about the channel was to actually show the trailer that we created. So I'll play that now, and then after that, you could maybe just summarise what the key points of the channel are.
Of course, that's good, Ali.
Okay, thank you. There we go, Rachel. So lots covered there. Yeah. So I wonder, could you just run us through the key points of what the channel's all about, please?
Yeah, of course. So the key takeaway points from this, each month, the Law Society of Scotland and Hay Legal will be releasing monthly snippets of content that aim to challenge and inspire ways of thinking. So it takes you a little bit away from the more traditional CPD programmes. And what I mean by this is that our guests are by no means bound to the legal sector, which you would have seen in the video there. And instead, we encourage our viewers to see what they can learn from a sort of broader spectrum of sectors. So this includes leaders and importantly, disruptors across business, digital, academic, sporting worlds, etc. And through this, we will provide 1 hour of free CPD each month, brought to you in 15-minute snippets from 4 different distinguished guests. So if you haven't already, make sure that you head over to the Law Society webpage, and here you can register your interest. You can view what we have up already. So it's 4 speakers from our January release, and sort of wait in anticipation almost for what we're going to release in February time. So I think the important point when we're creating this channel with Hey Legal is that we very much want you to have a say in shaping the content that we deliver each month. So we'd be delighted to hear any suggestions from people, topics that you want to hear from. So yeah, we have 300 people subscribed so far. So make sure that you're a part of this growing group.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Well, 300 lawyers so far, which is superb. I think there's about 12,000 lawyers in total. So we'd love to have everyone signed up, taking advantage of the free CPD. But I think free CPD is obviously important, but at the same time, it's more about gaining access to content that just makes us think a bit differently, brings in new ways of thinking and working. That's really the ultimate aim here. And we've got some brilliant guests, obviously, that are going to assist us to do that. So I wonder if you could maybe just run us through the guests that we have had thus far, because we released content at the end of January. So who were the guests in the first batch of released content?
Yeah, so January was our first release, and we had 4 guests here. So the first of which was Baroness Helena Kennedy QC, who many of you will know as being a Labour member of the House of Lords. So Helena has obviously had a very interesting career, and I actually came across her after watching her TED Talk, which was called The Law is Male, which is a really interesting talk for anyone that would be interested. So obviously when she was called to the bar in the 70s, the legal profession was a very sort of different place, especially for a young woman coming from Scotland to London. So we were very keen to talk to Helena about her long fight for gender equality as she sort of reflected on her career and what she sees the next chapter of her life being about. And then directly following this, this is when we effectively went to Hollywood, or sort of virtually went to Hollywood anyway, to speak to Kenneth Feinberg. And Kenneth Feinberg is a really, really interesting guy who's had a really interesting career. And probably what he's best known for is his appointment as the Special Master of the Victim Compensation Funds in the aftermath of 9/11. And how we sort of came about Kenneth's work was actually when my manager, Jim, alongside our interviewer, Johanna Boyd, watched the Netflix film called Worth, which was actually made about Ken's handling of the funds, and stars, as you can see there, Michael Keating, Amy Ryan, and Stanley Tucci, who I knew anyway from The Devil Wears Prada. And they were both really inspired when they were watching this film, and Jim sort of came to me on the Monday morning to pitch this idea of bringing Kenneth in as a guest. So I just reached out to him, and obviously we were very pleasantly surprised when he emailed back within around 20 minutes and agreed to talk to us. And I think we have a little clip here, if I'm right, Ali.
Yes, we do. I'll play that. I mean, it genuinely is a fantastic interview. I think it's absolutely brilliant that we obviously can reach out around the globe and get people to take part so readily, and such important people as well. So I'll show a little bit of the interview with Ken.
You've often talked, Ken, about what you learned, and indeed it's very clear through the film, the journey that you went on personally, and you talk a lot about empathy. And I just wondered how that unfolded for you personally.
Well, that's correct. At the beginning of the fund, I acted as judge and jury in providing compensation to all eligible victims of the 9/11 attacks. But it became very clear to me, shortly after we began processing individual claims, that the primary requirement for administering the fund was empathy. It was relatively straightforward to calculate dollars. What would the victim have earned over a work life? What about pain and suffering, emotional distress? The real debilitating part of it was when individual claimants came to see me privately, venting about life's unfairness, attacking the federal government for letting it happen. I tell people all the time that my law degree was of marginal utility in designing and administering the program. I would have been better off with a degree in divinity or in psychiatry, because you were dealing with very, very emotional, distraught, angry people. And you had to brace yourself for what you heard during the day.
Mm.
Yeah, so it's a brilliant interview. Johanna is a fantastic interviewer as well, and it covers all sorts of topics from a fascinating person, really.
Yeah, no, he truly was fascinating, and you can even hear it from this clip that he's just had such an interesting career. And there's a lot of what he does that you can watch on YouTube as well, where he talks about the value of a life and how you can put a sort of monetary value on someone's life. It's an interesting topic, but even better when it's explained by someone like Ken.
Yeah, no, brilliant. So, and there were two other speakers, or three, I should say, really. So there was Gary Gallen from Radar, and that was an interview I was involved in. Radar is a very innovative law firm that was founded by Gary, and I have absolutely no doubt that if our audience were to listen to the interview, or watch and listen to the interview there, that there would be a lot of learning and thinking to be gained from that. We also had, well, we're trying to keep the standard of the guests high, but that was the case in relation to Emma Flood from Hay Legal, but myself as well. Emma and I did a recording in relation to really a topic about content creation by law firms. Is your law firm really becoming a bit like a media company? Are we all starting to create content now and putting it onto the internet? Very much like this, as we're doing here. And so, again, I would obviously invite people to watch that, think about what we've said there, think about the strategies that their law firms are maybe looking to put in place to communicate their expertise and educate their audience. So that was so that's all been the January release, and that's fantastic. We're now going to be joined by the head of marketing from De Novo, Grant Yule. This type of channel and this offering doesn't really take place unless sponsors are able to provide assistance in relation to it. So I'm going to introduce Grant now and just ask about his involvement, or De Novo's involvement in relation to this channel. Grant, good afternoon. How are you?
Afternoon, Ali. Afternoon, Rachel. How are you?
Good. Great to see you, Grant.
Good.
Now, listen, thank you so much, obviously, for joining us this afternoon. Really wanted to ask you just about why De Novo was so keen to get involved with us.
Yeah, it's pretty simple, really. I mean, one of the key reasons that we decided to partner with Hay Legal, well, way back in, we say, early 2020, Ali, would you say? Yep. Was really around this kind of unwavering desire and mission to inspire new ideas, new ways of thinking with regards to supporting the Scottish legal community. It was about trying new things to build out careers, grow businesses, help clients in the best and most effective ways possible, really. And that's something that I feel personally and professionally that I could get on board with. And when sort of had a chat internally with the team here at De Novo, we were all in agreement that, we are trying to go in a similar direction. And I think when it comes to this kind of content, I mean, what you just showed there is really interesting. It's something you maybe don't see day to day. And I'm a firm believer, right, in that you just don't know what you don't know, right? So what I mean by that is that I'm acutely aware that busy professionals, particularly in the legal profession, they've got a tendency to simply kind of accept the norm. We just do things the way that we've kind of always done it because it's the way it's always happened. And some people maybe call that tradition, but I think in reality, until someone decides to show you that a particular way of doing things can be done differently, you just sort of coast along. And everyone who's watching and everyone in the profession, they are extremely busy, and therefore you don't really have time to explore change, not very often. And in many cases, won't attempt to do anything really differently. And in some cases, really, people just don't really want to upset the apple cart. It takes someone who can really detach themselves. And I think this is what the likes of yourself you've done, Ali, is that you've detached yourself a little bit from that world, and you're looking to other industries for inspiration. And then it's I suppose our job collectively to come together and disrupt that a little bit and change the status quo. You know, I'm someone who's came into this world, this legal world, from outside the legal industry, and I can firmly and confidently say that a lot of people in the profession really need to recognise that there are new ways of learning like this. It's a great platform, new ways of working, interacting, looking after yourself, well-being, communicating with clients, marketing, something I specialise in. And that's just to name a few. They're all out there, they all exist, but again, you don't know what you don't know. And I think that's why platforms like Hey Legal and the Shape Your Success CPD channel is so important. It opens up worlds of possibilities, and it's through kind of innovative, interesting and insightful content. And I suppose take my hat off to to Rachel and the team at the Law Society of Scotland as well, because their ambition to reimagine learning. We're great partners of the Law Society. Their ambition to reimagine learning for Scottish lawyers is abundantly clear with the launch of the channel. I think for me, you may or may not, this might be controversial, but I think in general, CPD is seen as a bit of a chore. Am I right in saying that, Alan? Is that, you know, Rachel?
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so, you know, I'm not a solicitor, right? But myself, but I do hear things. I've got family members who are. I've got connections and friends in the industry, and the feeling across the board is exactly that. And my question, I suppose, is why? You know, my understanding is it's maybe a bit time consuming. Many cases can be seen as expensive, can maybe intrude in fee earning time. But what's required really is options. It's a balancing act, as far as I'm concerned, you know, between traditional CPD delivered at events or virtually, and dynamic content like we've just saw some clips of, which can be delivered differently by leading experts that do, and you have touched on this, extend further than just the legal sphere. So that way you can still get your finger sandwiches and your kind of lukewarm coffee in the paper cup and interact with people at the live events. I've been to a few, you know, but also what you can do is you can learn when it suits you. So when you're walking the dog, when you're at the gym, when you're heading to court, it's the best of both worlds as far as I can see it. And also, you know, I talk to quite a, you know, in this job, I'm lucky enough to talk to quite a few law firm leaders, business leaders, and, you know, why would you almost want to cap your team's learning? You know, I know that there's a stipulation in terms of how many hours of CPD you get a year, but, you know, why almost, it feels as if it's almost capped at 15 to 20 hours when it just shouldn't be. Why is it not 100? Why is it not 200 hours? Keep everybody learning. That's what we do at De Novo. I mean, it's about constant learning. We're having to learn from our clients to help improve our product. And, you know, everyone in the profession can be looking to learn more to just improve themselves, their businesses. And I think you mentioned it already, even in your trailer, which is just about moving the needle just a little bit. And I think that this channel makes that more possible than ever before. And, you know, really at De Novo, our mission's pretty simple. It's, you know, it's make lawyers' lives easier, inspire new ideas, do things a little differently. And we're trying to push the needle all the time. And Hey Legal and the Law Society of Scotland are on a mission to do exactly that as well, to do the same thing. So the synergy between our goals and aspirations is really why we support the Shape Your Success channel, and, you know, really grateful and thankful to be involved in it, and for you guys allowing it to be part of it.
Well, that's fantastic, Grant. I mean, as I say, genuinely, your support through De Novo is massively appreciated, and there's definitely an alignment around what we're trying to do, which is great. I would say one thing, though, you mentioned your family members. I mean, Ross, your brother, he is a big fan of CPD. And he loves his CPD. We all know that. Yeah, of course he does. So that's great. So, well, thanks a lot, Grant. We will no doubt feature De Novo in the months and years that lie ahead, but we also look forward to tapping into your marketing expertise. And I think there's every prospect of you perhaps doing a talk with us as well about your marketing experience from the Hamleys world and beyond.
Oh, yes. That could be a bit of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks very much, Grant. Okay, we'll speak to you soon.
Grant.
All right, thanks a lot, guys.
Bye.
So Grant from Dover there, which was brilliant to hear from them, Rachel. So now we're going to look at what's coming up, because we have content release next week, and you're going to talk us through that. And we're going to be joined, keeping the tempo up, we're going to be joined by Emma from Hey Legal, who did feature in January's content as well. And I've just added her to the stream now. Hi, Emma.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, Emma.
Hello.
All good, thank you. All good. Thanks for joining us. So, Rachel, what talks have we got coming up for release this month, please?
Yeah, so this month, Ali, we've got loads of exciting content coming up, keeping up the tempo as we were just talking about there. So we have Dr. Deborah Benson joining us, who is the founder of the Directors Convention, which is a peer-to-peer leadership development program, which is led by sort of business experts from around the world, really. And interestingly, Deborah was also the first female director of the construction company, the Miller Group. So she talks a little bit about her early career. This was in her 30s, this happened. So she talks a little bit about this. And then we also talk a little bit about sort of the future of the Directors Convention. We also have Elizabeth Rimmer, who is the CEO of LawCare. So myself and Elizabeth have a chat about the importance of mental health in the profession. So it's a really interesting watch and a really important topic that we cover there. And then we also have Dan Kane, who Emma very kindly interviewed for us, who is a general counsel for Network Rail. And he's also the founder of the O-Shape Lawyer, which aims to bring sort of positive change into the legal profession, which is kind of what we're all about, by encouraging lawyers to become more O. So it was a really interesting chat that Emma had with them there.
Yeah,
Emma,
sorry. Yeah, it was great to hear from Dan about all of the ways that lawyers can become more educated, more inclusive, and it's about making the profession better for clients, but a better place to work as well, which I think is what Dan is really passionate about and what we can all really learn from.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, brilliant, brilliant. I mean, it's I've not yet seen these interviews, but genuinely looking forward to seeing them, because they're exactly on point with what we were trying to do in relation to bringing in people who know the legal sector but know other sectors as well, who are doing different things. And the interview that I've been involved in this month was a brilliant. I was going to say a brilliant interview. I mean, it was a brilliant guest. A brilliant guest, Tis van de Kuil, who will be known to many, one of Scotland's foremost entrepreneurs, founder and chairperson of 4J Studios in Dundee, who are famously, they were the creators of the console edition of Minecraft, which is the most successful video game, I think, of all time, which is absolutely mind-blowing. And he provides tremendous insight into what he expects the role of a lawyer to be, for their knowledge to be of his world, how they can assist the things that he's trying to do, how they're never to be a barrier in relation to progress and being entrepreneurial. So it's a really wide-ranging interview, which I have to be honest, I've still got to edit, but it will be done for the release next week. And I really do think that cumulatively these interviews bring together a whole suite of learning that people can really benefit from, and it's all done in a pretty digestible way as well, you know?
Yeah.
So thank you both for that. I think, well, we aim to be broadcasting for about 15 minutes or so, so we've obviously gone beyond that. But it's good. This is the first, when we thought up this format, you know, we were saying, well, how do we get a bit of energy and engagement around things? And creating a live stream, it's early days. We hope that people will come to this in numbers and start to get used to it being a regular event, but hopefully it fits with the whole approach of the channel. We're very keen, as you said, Rachel, to get people to register, but also to contribute ideas to what we are hoping to do, because then we can reach out to people and ask them to engage with us and give their time. which they've readily done.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. So, and finishing up now, is there anything else you would both like to add before we close up, Emma?
Yeah, I was just going to say, if you do have any ideas, I always put it in the newsletter, but email us at any time, hey@heylegal.co.uk. Get in touch with us on Twitter. However you feel you can get in touch with us, just let us know if you have any ideas.
Yeah, very good. Call to action at the end. I think that was in some of our content content strategy. Yeah, so a call to action is always a very good idea. So thanks, Emma. Rachel?
Yeah, no, just thank you very much to everyone joining, and thank you to you, Ali, for all your creativity and getting this all started. And I hope it's something that in the Law Society we can start doing more often. We can maybe coerce a few different people from the society to get involved as well.
That's thank you. That's been brilliant. I mean, have you enjoyed? I mean, have you enjoyed the live streaming element? It can be quite nerve-wracking.
I have enjoyed it. No, I have enjoyed it. It took maybe 2 weeks of encouragement from yourself, Ali, but we're here eventually. But no, it's been great.
Yeah, no, it's been great. Well, listen, you're a natural to it all, as are you, Emma, of course. But but also it's one of these things of just in terms of content creation. The more that we do these things, we'll get more refined at it. We'll just be able to be more creative as well, which is really good and also fits with the channel. So I think on that note, I will thank you both for joining me. Also, thanks to Grant, thanks to the Law Society, thanks to De Novo for their support. Please register for the channel, get involved. If you would subscribe to Hey Legal on YouTube as well, while we're in the mode of asking for engagement, then that would be fantastic as well, because that does allow us to do more of this type of thing as well. We hope to be a force for good in relation to the profession, and if law firms are thriving, then more clients are helped, and that can only be the ultimate aim of everyone in the legal profession. So thank you both. I will now locate this last video, or exit video, and we look forward to releasing the content next week, and then we'll be live streaming next month as well. So we'll be back. So thank you both, and I'll speak to you both very soon. Thank you.
Thanks, Ali. Thanks.